Shuka Rahasyopanishad. Rahasya means secret. So the name suggests that it is about some secret and it is related to Shuka. So we must know these two aspects in order to understand Shuka Rahasyopanishad. Of course, it deals with great secrets about Atma Vidya or about real education. Shuka is the son of the great Veda Vyasa who wrote Mahabharata. So this is a very exciting story that we get in this Upanishad. Actually, there are two stories, just like a play within the play. We have two stories in one Upanishad. The first scene starts with the divine sages. They approach Brahma. So they say like this: Hey Bhagavan, kindly impart to us the mysterious Upanishadic principle. Almost all the Upanishads, they deal with the same theme. Everybody comes to a real great guru and they ask for the secret about the soul, the journey of the soul, and about eternal life. So here, these divine sages, the Devas, they come to Brahma with the same question. And Brahma, instead of directly answering them, points out another incident that happened in Mount Kailasa. So he told them the story about how Veda Vyasa went to meet Lord Shiva with Parvati in Mount Kailas with Shuka, the son of Veda Vyasa. It's a very, very interesting story. Veda Vyasa approached Lord Shiva with this plea. He says, Hey Bhagavan, here is my son Shuka, and it is almost time for him to really learn about Brahma Jnana, or the knowledge about the soul, because he has completed all the other learnings and now it is time for him to know the ultimate truth. And Brahma says, this is not the time to teach your son Brahma Vidya, because once he learns all these, it may be difficult for him to come back to the world. He may shun this world. So you have to be very careful before you ask me to teach him the real knowledge about his life and afterlife. But Veda Vyas, he is insistent. He says, okay, this is the right time for my son to learn about all this. So when Shuka also expressed his willingness to learn about the great secrets of life, so Shiva was pleased in him, because he knows that this is a right disciple. And he says, I will open up all the ultimate secrets to you. So that is why this is Shuka Rahasya Upanishad. I will impart to you the ultimate secrets because I understand you are a very committed student. I will teach you Rahasya Upanishad, and which deals with the mystery to eternity. And then Lord Shiva says this Upanishad is so loftier, so sublime, and it is better than all the learnings and sacrifices of 100 years. So this is loftier than all the other Upanishads. This is Rahasya Upanishad. So I am going to teach you all the secrets. And then he teaches him 4 Mahavakyas, great sayings, and the meaning of all these. These 4 great sayings, they form the pillars of Indian philosophy or the Advaita philosophy. Oh, these are the four sayings or four dicta or the Maha Vakyas. Om Prajnanam Brahma. That is taken from Aitareya Upanishad. Om Prajnanam Brahma. The second one is Om Aham Brahmasmi. That comes from Brihadaranya Upanishad. The third one is a very famous one, Om Tattvamasi. That is from Mandukya Upanishad. And the fourth is Om Ayamanatma Brahmaha. That comes from Mandukya Upanishad. Om Tattvamasi is from Chandogya Upanishad. And Om Ayamanatma Brahmaha is from Mandukya Upanishad. So, what is the meaning of all these great quotes? It's the same. The meaning is the same, which we see over and over again in the Upanishads. We get a detailed description of the Mahavakyas here in this. The first one, Om Prajnanam Brahma, means everything comes from Brahma and everything is part of Brahma. Brahma, Indra, Devas, people, cow, horse, and all are the dwelling, the abode of Brahma, the oversoul. Prajnanam resides, or Prajnana Brahma resides in me, and that is everywhere. So it is the same as Aham Brahmam Asmi, Aham Brahmasmi. I am God. So God is in me. So same Tattvamasi, that thou art. You are nothing but God. Om Ayamanatma Brahma. Everywhere it is Brahma. You are Brahma, I am Brahma. Everything in nature is part of Brahma. Actually, this is the core of the Advaita philosophy, non-dualistic philosophy, and Shuka understands the principles. Actually, the interesting thing happens after this. Shuka is a very well-disciplined disciple and he understands all these things. And Lord Shiva, he addresses, after teaching all this, he addresses Shukadeva and he says, Hey Shukadeva, your father Vedavyasa is a great Brahmajnani, and is because I am pleased in him and in you that I have opened up my heart to you and I have taught this great secret Upanishad to you. It is the Satchidananda Brahma that is portrayed in this. So you can daily contemplate on this, and that is enough for your salvation. And then we find a very interesting incident. Vyasa was very pleased because his son knows everything and he wants to go home with his son. But then his son, when he calls his son, the son doesn't answer. Because this was initially stated by Lord Shiva, if I teach him Brahmajnana now, it may be difficult for him to come back to life, because then he becomes a universal being. He wets the whole world. This we have seen in the life of so many great people who have really had enlightenment. So Vedavasa calls his son by his name, but he doesn't answer. He doesn't go with his father. But the most exciting event that happened here is that when Vedavasa calls Shukadeva, the answer to his call comes from all the the trees and nature. Nature is responding to him. The answer comes from everywhere. So what does this mean? Shuka is not answering, but the whole nature is answering. Because we find he is now traveling in the world of eternal joy or ananda, eternal bliss, Shuka, and he has become one with the whole universe. That is why the universe is giving his father the answer when he addresses his son. So he began his journey. Shuka began his journey from there, and Vedavyasa also follows him because he also enjoys the same eternal bliss. So this is a very important Upanishad that conveys the real the philosophy, the real core of Indian philosophy, which teaches about Advaita, and there is nothing beyond Brahma in this world. Everything, every individual, every object is part of Brahma, and once you understand this, then you become one with God. And a person who understands the ultimate secret, he will not be serious about this world. He will not be attached to all the worldly matters and pleasures, and he knows it is his duty to enjoy the eternal bliss, the ananda, the paramananda that is gained only from eternity, only from the eternal soul or the oversoul that is in us.